Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix, Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, where it's $5 a month, $54 a year. So, on the last Let's Play, we talked to Axel for a little bit in a flashback where like, well, if I wanted to confess my feelings for a person but wasn't, couldn't really do it, then I would get blasted drunk. And that's what Axel's doing by having one pina colada. Remember, kids, don't drink. And then for another part of the Let's Play, Jay was talking with, what's his name over here? This guy being over here being like, but our culture is so nice and great. Why aren't you proud of it? And he's like, they're incredibly homophobic and backwards. No, heck you. So, yeah. It's, why aren't you proud to be in our country? And it's like, our country has, like, huge problems. You can put that for quite a few countries, Anyways, reset face. And begin. The previously blasting bar had been brought to total silence by Jay's furious outburst. Something that he was now painfully conscious of in his post-rage clarity. You could have heard a pin drop as Jay's cheeks grew redder and redder with every passing second. Not one pair of eyes in the entire building was looking anywhere except for the typical tearful dragon, who calmly yet bashfully placed some distance between himself and Maxwell, taking a position on a stool to the immediate left of my own. As he sat, he did not make eye contact, instead stared intently at the knots and swirls of the polished wood on the bar's countertop. He remained in total silence as the usual ambience one would expect from a popular bar gradually returned as the patrons returned to their business once more. Jay had never mentioned how he felt. Apollo told me about how Ortegans had practically worshipped heterosexual couples, I swear I can read, though I had not known that such behavior had persisted to this very day, and I had not known that Jay had endured such suffering firsthand. For some reason, my tongue's still tied. Oh, it's kind of funny. We're on episode 101 right now, and the one that was posted was like, after the main character woke up from being with Ty in episode 45. When this is posted, unless my channel gets taken down, that episode I just posted was over a year ago. It's just like, man, this is one long route. There's other games where it's like, it's like 20 hours, while this one's like, 20, that'd be 40 episodes, yeah. And this one's over 50 by quite a handful. Jay, are you okay, man? Jay sighed before motioning to Russell, who was busy drying glasses behind the counter. Russell sprung into action, having already memorized Jay's favorite drink, preparing him a glass and depositing it on the counter with his usual toothy smile, accompanied by the subtle hint of concern. Here you go, my dude. Adrian, seeing as you're, boss and now everything, can I comp this drink? No, forget that. He drinks free today. I think, meaning that Russell would pay for it? I don't know. You sure, my dude? Would Ty be okay with it? He would be. And even if he weren't, I'll cover it from my own pocket. You don't have to for me. And you didn't have to take me home when I had a breakdown in the cafe. This is the least I can do to say thanks. That's real nice of you, my dude. I cannot. No way. He's finished his second glass already? Sorry, my dudes, but it's duty calls. Thanks, Adrian. I guess that makes us even, huh? I guess, he's talking about Axel, and Axel's going, oh, this tastes great. I'll have another. Not knowing when it's gonna go. It does. I feel like a total fool. I don't think that. Not one bit. And I promise you, nobody else here thinks you're a fool either. You sure about that? My countrymen back there sure seem to think so. I turned my gaze back to the booth. Jay had been seated only moments prior, where his former companion of his remained, staring into space with a quizzical expression that suggested his upbringing had little in common with Jay's. Nonetheless, it was not an expression of disbelief. Maxwell, okay, that's the guy, had clearly heard similar things before, even if he himself had not experienced them. And, above all, Maxwell was clearly taking Jay's critique to heart, and no longer thought him a fool. Not anymore. Wait. Is this the single straight guy in Woodcrest? Because let's look at the list. Gay, 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 gay. Or at least they like men. Gay, 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 gay. Yeah, gay. Gay. Or actually could be bisexual. Gay, gay. Assumed to be. The only straight couple I've ever seen. She has to be at some point straight. Though it could also be the thing where it's like maybe not straight, but then also just does it because it's expected. Gay, gay. Sus. You know, Jay, I don't think he does. If anything, it looks like you've shattered his perception of the world around him a little. It's written all over his face. Take a look. Thanks, but I'd rather not. That's fair enough. He said something about noble bloods. What was that all about? My family is quite well off, I suppose, would be the term. Not for any hard work of our own, mind you, but for that of our ancestors. Just right down the... One sec, sorry. Coattails of those who came before. Makes me sick if I'm honest. I always hated being treated like royalty. Old money, if you will. Anyway, I'm sorry you had to see that outburst. It had been years since I even thought about all that stuff. I thought I was over it, but I guess something like that doesn't just vanish so easily. Being here in Woodcrest just separated me from having to think about it. Don't apologize. If anything, I'm glad for the opportunity to get to know you better, even if the topic isn't exactly lighthearted. I heard bits and pieces, but had no idea things were that bad for you guys growing up. Believe me, the reality is even worse than you can imagine. Being a teenager back at home is like going to war. You don't know how many of your friends will be coming home. You don't even know if you will be coming home. Being a rare species has perks here and there, sure, but mostly being Ortegan sucks, big time. And hearing that brainwashed shill blindly parrots patriotic propaganda, it made my blood boil. It's no different to laughing in the faces of my friends who didn't make it. Jay unleashed an exhausted and downtrodden sigh, slouched forward with his arms dangling freely for several moments before snapping back into position, forcing the return of his usual cheery grin as the redness in his cheeks began to gradually subside. But I'm not here to dwell on the past, be that my upbringing or something smaller scale like an ass whipping I got this morning. Happy topics only going forward. And I apologize for the sullen mood. You wouldn't believe the last few days I've had. It's utterly ridiculous. I feel like a character in a shoddy foreign soap opera. Alright, I asked Ty last night if I'd miss anything, and he suggests that you may have a story to tell me? Of course. I'm reminded that some congratulations are in order. Glad to hear that you and Ty are back together, but do us a favor, stay together this time, okay? I'm way ahead of you. Diego had already threatened physical violence if things go awry one more time. Believe me, I needed no more encouragement. Also, my knee's broken twice. Oh dear. Well, I'm glad to hear you're motivated to make things work at least. So, what's this drama I've missed exactly? Ah, right. Well, head's a doozy. I can't tell you right now. Too many people within earshot. It's kind of Well, it's a sensitive topic, and something I'm keen to keep to myself for the time being. I'll tell you, but later on. I can't count on seeing you at practice night, I hope. You bet your arse. That's what I like to hear. I already told Ty, and Cranky Sticks? So tell that story again at practice seems like the best idea. Alright, I'd say I'm looking forward to it, but honestly, I'm not sure if I am. Oh, and Cranky Sticks? He'd be pissed if he heard you call him that. Which is exactly why I do it. He's all frowny on the surface, but he knows I'm just yanking his chain. Secretly, I bet he even likes it. Jeez, what else have I missed? Almost sounds like you're chasing Lucas. What's that old phrase? Treat him mean, keep him keen? I've never heard that. Worry not. I simply enjoy a bit of fun at his expense, although I concede he's a looker. Does Eric know you're encroaching on his turf? I bet he's furious. You'd be surprised. Even though I'm hardly angling for such a thing, Eric has already made me promise him a detailed description if I catch a glimpse of what's good. You know what? Somehow, that sounds even more on brand for Eric. He's originally wanted a photograph. The detailed description is a compromise. Hey, shark. Oh my. The distinctive sound of Axel's slur caught my attention as we both turned in unison to witness the forthcoming commotion. Judging by the slight smirk on that spread across Jay's lips, suggested that he was grateful for something so timely to distract his own embarrassing commotion only moments prior. Where's my next one? I'm almost finished head. Little dude, I totally just put it there. Did you, like, shotgun the whole thing? That's secret. Axe, I think you've, like, had one too many, dude. Heck, maybe like 3 too many by the looks of it, my man. I only give you 2, though. Maybe it's time to, like, I don't know, take it easy? Hey. Question mark? I'm paying customer. How dare you speak to me like that? Uh-oh. I, like, starting to see the family resemblance, my dude. I want another peanut collider. X, dude. No. Russ, so, what do I have to do? Suck both your dicks? Again? Dude, yeesh. Pina colada. X. Pimple container. That wasn't even, like, close at all, little dude. Well, then, at least I'm not the only train wreck here today. Why was there question marks? This shit happens all the damn time, man. Except, usually, I don't know the people making fools of themselves. I don't know. Oh. His name's Axel. Oh well, it's an entertaining day at work, I guess. It's less entertaining when you're the fool, I can assure you. Welcome back, Diego. How's it hanging? Oh, you know, it's a hot day, so they're hanging loosely, enough that they keep slapping my thighs when I walk. Testicles. Well, that's quite an image. Jeez, Diego, that's not what I mean. Sheesh. Ever heard of underwear? Pfft, underwear is for losers. Besides, I like to feel the breeze. Dude, how breezy are those pants? Just saying, my dude. I like to think of it as easy access. I bet you're talking from personal experience. Please, I have little use for underwear with how I'm equipped. It's weirder for me to be wearing any. Also, I would like to be able to be naked, but I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that because it's gross. And I haven't really... I don't know how to respond to that. You win, I guess. Finished in the kitchen, Diego? Yep, just finished. Oh, and Ty said he'd be out in a jiffy, and so I am. A wonderful afternoon to you, Adrian. Afternoon, Ty. And a very good afternoon to you as well, Jay. A wonderful afternoon, my most esteemed bandmate. Geez, Adrian, are those two always so insufferable when they're together? I stopped myself from giving a serious answer at the last minute, instead deciding to align myself with the eloquent duo to give Diego something to really complain about. I say, good sir, I know not what you mean. I find these two gentlemen and their splendid companionship to be rather spiffing. It is clear to me that you are simply not a man of class, unlike myself and our present company. What the? Indeed, a bad show, sir. Very bad show. Perhaps you could learn a thing or two, my chocolate-colored companion, Uwu. I dare say these two fine chaps would make jolly good educators when it comes to the topic of finer language and higher class etiquette. Yeah. No. No way. Nuh-uh. Nope. I ain't dealing with this kind of bullshit today. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go do something like... Oh, I bet that sad-looking dragon over there would perk up with a good drink or two. Maybe he's super loaded and wants a glass or 3 of firewater? Oh, Diego is gonna make some stacks today. I'll tell ya. Diego quickly excused himself from the discussion, unwilling to endure my overdramatic mockery for 1 minute more. When Diego was not a fan of my more posh side, both Ty and Jay seemed to be quite smitten with it by judging by their perfectly matched grins. I almost feel bad for him. He can dish it, but he sure can't take it. And speaking of taking it, I take it nobody thought to tell him that firewater is a Winter Dragon beverage? Our Senny's siblings are not all that fond of its warm effects, and with coming from an overwhelmingly hot climate already. Though we have been robbed of the opportunity to teach the boy some manners, perhaps your rather passionate countryman will educate him on this particular matter instead. Passionate? You were watching? I could hear yelling from my office. I checked the cameras to ensure everything was under control, and that is all. Worry not. I'm glad that you stood up for yourself, as you did. I cannot stand preachy traditional types. Amen. Which is kind of funny that I said amen. They make my skin crawl. Really? I thought you grew up in Woodcrest, though. There's barely anybody like that around here. Indeed, but I saw plenty on vacation, taken during my youth. Gran took me and Lucas to her family's ancestral kingdom, and while we lack the homophobia Tagans are known for, believe me, there's more than enough antiquated tradition for several lifetimes. I enjoyed much of the vacation, but have never once wanted to go back. Boy, that's one thing I really like about going to, like, I don't know, European places or northern places, and it's like, oh, there's a pride flag and equal sign thingies and that kind of stuff. And granted, haven't seen a MAGA hat before, probably because, you know, unless you went to a rally, it's kind of unpopular to wear still. But still, it's like, or, you know, I don't know, it's just like, I like the feeling of openness and stuff like that, you know? I see. Sounds like we have more in common than I thought. Indeed, it does, my friend. But enough of that topic. I'd like to learn how you fared at the tournament this morning. I hope you come bearing good news, my friend. Not likely. That polar bear. Jeez. I'm gonna have nightmares about him. It was like finding a brick wall. Wait. Did he have his tournament today? I thought it was a couple of days ago, and the polar bear fought someone else. I don't know. Oh dear. Yes, his reputation precedes him, unfortunately. Though, if it smooths your wounds any, I hear from a reliable source that he's quite the opposite in the bedroom. What? Ty? Oh yes, I wonder who might have found that out. Both Jay and I turned their face to me in unison, sly expressions painted on their faces. I felt my own heat up, my cheeks turned red, as they chuckled at my expense before Ty advanced the topic, leaving me in discomfort for just long enough to maximize their amusement. Though I must ask, you're not wounded, are you? You're still capable to perform? Relax, I'm a little tender, sure, but I'm more than capable of commanding the Black Claw's bottom end, ooh. Terrific. Exactly what I was hoping to hear. And I apologize if I made you feel uncomfortable, Adrian. I only tease because I love you. You know that. After all, your presence is like a cascade of butterflies, taking flight within my chest, my heart drumming with excitement for having seen your gorgeous face. Yeesh, Ty. Good thing Diego's out of earshot, or he'd be puking rainbows right about now. Especially because he's gay. It is as you said, Adrian. He's simply not a man of class. And for the record, Ty, I enjoyed the wordplay, as corny as it certainly was. I simply speak the words conjured by my heart, and sing the serenade straight from my soul. And that is why your songs are sold, and Glenn's did not. You're quite the wordsmith, and he was, well, all of his songs were about how bad of a dude he was, and how he liked to hound the moon. And sex. So many songs about sex. Don't get me wrong, sex is great, but we know that. Stop making songs about it, jeez. Indeed, ego was practically his middle name. He was talented, clear, certainly, but far from self-aware. As the two spoke, a movement from the corner of my eye captured my attention as I turned my head in that direction, and I couldn't even begin to believe what I was seeing. No, it's either Diego or Axel. Guys, sorry to interrupt, but I think we might have a problem brewing. Oh? Both my companions turned into place to match my perspective. It seemed that in the few minutes that had been preoccupied with our discussions, Axel's level of intoxication had risen to highly dangerous levels. Sorry, give me a sec. After all, how else would you describe a bit as he stood atop his table, dancing in almost sexual manner? Russell, come dance with me. Isn't the mood thick? So catchy. Music? Little dude, nobody's playing any music, except for that riff over there. And please get down from the table, or you'll, hurt yourself. I forgot my mitt. He was so taken off by, Axel's thing, he forgot his accent. Blah. The wine in the bottle is fermented. I'm doing that thing from that guy that had a real distinct voice and did horror kind of things, but then he was pretty plastered while doing a wine commercial. Anyways, I won't fall. I'm a cat. I can bounce real good, and I can jump real high. Oh, and you know what else I can do? What else can you do, little dude? It was with no lack of concern that Russell would ask. This struck me as unusual at the time. How, unfortunately for me, and everyone else for that matter, it would soon make perfect sense as began fidgeting with the buttons on his shirt. I think that might be a typo. As he... Oop. Woo! Axel, put your shirt back on. Axel's dancing only grew perspectively more suggestive in nature as he ran his hands slowly down his belly as he poked his tongue out ever so slightly. I couldn't help but notice that Diego looked about as ready to burst from his barely contained hysterics. Also, it's fine to take your shirt off. I live in Texas. It's hot. No, not. Not until you bring me another peignoir collection. Axe. Dude, sign on the door says no shoes, no sir. Shirt, no service. Shoe? She's got my shoes on. That's not how it... Come on. I won't stop thinking until you... I'm gonna barf. Bring me another... So my throat hurts. Ooh, and if you don't, maybe I'll take my shoes off too? Axel, please. This is a respectable establishment. You cannot. You're not the boss of me. I can do whatever I... whoa. It happened in an instant. Axel had wobbled slightly before planting his boot down on the table for balance. Sadly, the table wasn't completely even, causing the table to tilt ever so slightly. A small shift, sure, but a shift that caught Axel off guard, sending them off the edge of the table, with a look of disoriented shock. My hand barely reached to my mouth as Russell lunged forward, barely keeping his own balance, his arms outstretched to collect the drunken friend in mid-flight, preventing him from coming to any harm. With Axel safely in his arms, Russell released a sigh of relief, as several patients clapped and cheered in celebration of his heroics. Russell turned in response, with a look of surprise quickly changed to a mixture of pride and embarrassment. And that was when the half-dressed cheetah, which he had cradled in his arms, reached a solitary finger upward, running along the bottom of Russell's chin before quietly speaking the words, "My hero." And then came the sound, which caught just about everybody by surprise. As he melted into Russell's arms, the unmistakable rumble of a purr began to ebb and flow. Every last person in the bar was carefully observed the commotion, and not a single one of those people could possibly have missed it. My mind raced to recoil what I was hearing. Of course, I knew cheetahs could purr, but I'd known Axel for... haven't known Axel for several weeks. It's been about, less than 3. Several weeks, quote, already, and this is the first time I've actually heard him do it. And despite the questionable circumstances, even I can deny how irresistibly cute it was, as it would happen. I was not the only one. Okay, now that is the cutest thing I've seen all year. Hey, Ty. Tigers can't do that, can they? Regrettably, the best I can do is blow raspberries. Cats come in 2 distinct varieties, the purring kind and the roaring kind. Have you ever heard a cheetah The roaring is super hot though. I'm not willing to give that up. Russell began to gently lower Axel on the floor, carefully angling his tent so he could climb straight to his feet. For a moment, it appeared he would topple once again, but thankfully, with Russell's tremendous support, he found his balance this time around, despite some precarious wobbling at first. Hey, Rush? Yeah, little dude? Can I please have another... What is it with drinking and being like, I want to drink more? I don't know why that's a thing. I mean, I don't think smoking makes you want... I mean, in the long term, smoking makes you want to smoke more, but you don't finish the smoking and be like, I'll have another. When it comes to drinking, it's like, I have a beer. I want another one. Also, it'd be kind of interesting to see how alcohol deals with people over time, because I remember when I was younger, never blacked out. And I would remember pretty much everything, and I wouldn't feel that drunk, but I would be puking my guts to the, porcelain god more times than I'd like to. But then as I'm older, I haven't puked at all. But my memory? Crap. Also, don't drink. It's a bad habit. little dude, I'm in good conscience or whatever. In good conscience or whatever, I can't, like, serve you a drink. You're too drunk to pronounce. I can show print it. Prove it, little dude. I will. You watch. Penis collider. Oh, Axel. Dude, what the fuck did you just say? Lee, Rush, I'll, kiss you for it. Please. Whoa. Kinda gay, bro. Hey, Ty, you and Adrian are about to, like, head out, right? That was the intention, yes. I'm sorry, my dude, but do you, like, mind? Seeing Axe home, I mean, he's done for the day. Of course, it would be our... What? No fair. I never said I was done, and I still want my pigness calendar. Why don't you get it for me, Rush? Don't you want to kiss? Well, dude, please. You're just don't you like me, Rush? Why don't you like me, Axe? 'Cause I like you. I like you a lot. I really like you so much. You're really cute and nice and cute and hot. Axe? Ooh, that face. Well, you don't like me. It was with a heavy sigh that Ty broke away from our group and made his way to the counter, to where Russ and Axel were standing before kneeling down to Axel's height, addressing him directly. Adrian and I will help you get back home, and in bed we can have a long, cozy sleep. Does that sound good? Also, we'll leave you on your belly, so in case you throw up, you don't kill yourself. No! I want to know why he doesn't like me. Come now, Axel. I will tell you. I'll tell you somewhere nice and private, okay? How about my car? We can talk about it there. Axel sniffed before responding to the reluctant nod of somebody with no options left. Ty put his arm around Axel's shoulder before turning to address me. I'll take Axel in my car and help him dry his tears. I'll send you a message when we are ready for company, okay? Gotcha. Come now, Axel. My car is this way. And please, if you're gonna throw up, do it outside the car. But... Patience, young one. Once you're in the car, we can speak to your heart's content. But for now, do you think you can be calm? Just for a moment? Axel sniffed before returning to another reluctant nod. Ty then thankfully and empathetically walked him out the front door and around the side of the building towards the parking lot. And following their departure, the bar was once again in dead silence, with not a single pair of eyes having missed the commotion. With the veritable sea of downtrodden faces, nobody wanted to be the first to break the silence, and so I took it upon myself to try ease the tension with a tasteful dash of humor. Well, nobody ever remembers your thing. Wait. Oh, nobody ever remembers your thing, Jay. What was it again? You know, after that, I'm not even sure I remember it anymore. Can you explain what that was all about? Does that sort of thing happen often in these parts? Well, we're over time, and it's not a scene change, but it's a change of topic. With, what's his name going away. Boop. And that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. I'm hungry. I'm not gonna be brought into another period where I go, oh, this is not gonna be that long, and then another 30 minutes later it's still going. Now, don't like it. So that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. I think I'm gonna have a cheese supper today. That's just what the English people call a cheese sandwich. So, please comment, guys. I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like my YouTube and you like to see crowd, then please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the episode. Please remember to spend your animals to help control the pit population. Because it has something that's more than me. And until next time, it's like me, GamerWolfSix, Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. A game that's so fucking long sometimes. Like, I joke, but it's also like, woof, this route. So anyways, thanks and see ya.